All right, Joe, thanks very much. And a rousing win in this game 3 for the Dodgers. And we welcome you to the post-game show with the crew. Derek Jeter is here, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez. And, you know, you think about what this Dodgers pitching staff has done. You just heard Walker Buehler with Ken Rosenthal. I mean, they've thrown shutouts in 4 of the last 5 games of the postseason. It's pretty incredible, Al.
It is remarkable. And the Dodgers, look, I've said it all along, boys, they're bullies. And they walk and they hit home runs, and that's when they dominate. Tonight, 3 bombs, 7 walks, but from top to bottom, complete domination. And obviously give Buehler a lot of credit.
Absolutely. We were expecting at least 5 innings from Buehler, but the 4th inning that he pitched, he dominated. He absolutely dominated. He was locating his pitches very well. I mean, he learned out of pitches, basically. That's why he only went 4th innings. But I think he did a phenomenal job to keep the Mets offense down.
He did exactly what he needed to do. You know, we talked about it. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they want to get to their bullpen. They want to use their bullpen. They try to get as many innings as they can out of their starters. The key, like I said, coming into it is you didn't want to overuse your bullpen, which they didn't tonight.
No, they did not. Kik Hern&aacute coming over. He'll join our crew. We'll get him a mic. We'll get him a chair and another big home run.
The guy killed it.
Another big home run for Kike, and the Dodgers got him out to a 4-0 lead, and obviously they went on and cruised after that. And well, Kike, great to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. And we just started talking about the pitching staff. I mean, 4 shutouts in 5 games in a regular season is amazing, and in the playoffs, it's pretty unbelievable. What have you noticed about the pitching staff as a whole?
I mean, they're all in. They're bought in. They all want the same thing, and they're all willing to do whatever it takes to to take us there. There's no set roles in that bullpen, and they're all about it. You know, we got a bunch of guys that they just want the ball at any time, and they've been doing a great job. Pitching has been amazing, but shout out to Will, man. He's been calling some unbelievable games behind the plate, and I don't think that pitching staff will be having the success they're having if it wasn't for him pushing the right buttons.
Kike, I love your quote where you said something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing, we didn't come here to win just the National League. We came here to win everything. But I'm really interested to know, during the season, you hit a home run once every 26 at-bats. Then you turn into Big Papi in October. 1 home run every 13 at-bats. What is it about October that makes you play at such a high level?
I don't know, man. I've been asked this question a lot, and I don't know the exact answer other than it just brings out the best in me. I don't know if it's the Latino blood. I don't know what it is, man, but you know, I put myself in a position since I was a little kid thinking that I was playing October baseball when the games were important for me as a kid. And I think one of the things, I mean, I can't, you know, you can have one bad postseason and then not go back to the postseason in a couple of years. And I've been blessed with, this is like my 9th postseason already. And I don't think I've had the numbers that I have if it wasn't for how much experience I have and as much as I've been in the postseason. So, you know, I got 2 guys to my left who have pretty impressive resumes in October and in the regular season too. But I don't know. It just brings out the best in me, and I love playing on October.
Hey, tell Ira you learn from the best.
Sure
hey,
did.
Kike, you know we have you in Boston, and I love your enthusiasm and your energy. But I had to ask you, tell me about this pitching staff that y'all have that have been able, the bullpen combined with starter, they have pitched shutout inning 4 times this postseason. What is all about this pitching staff?
We have a lot of really good arms and a lot of different stuff. I think in the past the Dodger bullpen has been kind of similar. You know, a lot of the same guys, and you know, we have a little bit of everything in the bullpen, and you know, we even have two future starters in Hern&aacute and Ben Kasparius, who finished the game out tonight, who have great stuff. And you know, I think it's just their willingness to have no roles at all and to be willing to come in. You know, Kopech, we traded for him to possibly be our closer, and he's pitching in the 5th inning tonight. You know, we just have a bunch of guys that are like I said, and I keep saying it over and over, but they're all willing to do whatever it takes to take us to a championship. And I mean, they're doing a great job, and you know, hopefully it keeps going.
That's right.
First of all, great job once again, man. You know, I've always said, in order to win a championship, you have to be able to play well on the road. And you guys have played well on the road in San Diego with your backs against the wall. you come into a hostile environment like this and play like you did tonight. How much do you guys enjoy playing on the road, or are you just comfortable at this point?
How do I choose my words to not piss off any fan base?
We're live. We're live.
Are we live?
That doesn't mean anything.
Sorry. Man, we playing in San Diego was intense. I played in a lot of places, and San Diego was up there as far as the electric environment. Those fans absolutely hate us, which was awesome. You know, I love playing those type of games, and you know, coming in here, we knew that it was going to be electric. I got to play a postseason series here in 2015, and so I knew what to expect with the crowd and stuff. But you know, I think that the fact that, you know, we took an early lead and Walker did his thing, and then we were able to slowly add on till the game got out of hand. I think that helps, and you know, we have two more games that we want to win this series, and then we focus on the World Series. But you know, we're just taking one game at a time, and you know, doing whatever it takes to win today.
Keep it going, man.
Hey,
Thank
you know what I do with a bad man in October? I hand one of my dog T-shirts. You deserve one, kid.
Thank you.
My dog. Hold it up, baby. Hold it up. That's right. There we go. My dog.
Another happy My Dog customer, Kike Hernandez, doing it again. Hey,
Bad
man.
man.
Thanks for joining us,
Thank you,
Kike.
guys. Thank
Congrats
you.
on the win.
Good job. Keep
Appreciate
it going,
that.
brother.
There you go. Another My Dog shirt. By the way, great strike from Karen there on the toss, right?
That's right.
Poppy.
That's right.
That was impressive. I mean, that was really,
She
really
know
good.
what she's doing.
Yeah, that was good. And so is Kike. He's been ridiculous. And it's amazing when you think about what he's done. Look, he's been a really good player. And you're right, though, Alex. He gets to the postseason and he turns just in another gear, really. I mean, think about it. Highest OPS on the road in playoff history. Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, Carlos Beltran, and Kike Hernandez. I mean, that's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable group of company. That's where Kike is. And Derek, we were talking, watching him, and said he reminds you of one of your former teammates in a certain way, huh?
Yeah, you know who he reminds me of? He's like a modern-day Jim Leyritz. Jim Leyritz had a great long career, but he turned into another human being in the postseason. He had the big home run against the Seattle Mariners. Al, you were there in 1995. Then he hit the big home run against the Braves. Game 4 of the World Series. He just always seemed to come up with big home runs, and that's what reminds me of Kike. I mean, Kike's got 15 home runs in 78 games. Now, Jimmy didn't play as many postseason games. He had 8 in 28, but he always seemed to come up with the big home runs.
You know, fellas, the great Pat Riley once said, is 80% talent, 20% luck. Well, the Dodgers got some luck because their shortstop Rojas goes down. The blessing in disguise, he goes down. It allows Dave Roberts to move Edman from center to short and put Kike in there as an everyday center fielder, and it's worked out absolutely beautifully.
I tell you what, we had Kike a little bit in Boston for a year and son. And what I watched from Kike was that he loved those highlights. He loved those pressure games. He loved to go out. It doesn't matter where you put him at. We played at shortstop. He went out there and bossed his tail. You put him in the outfield, go out there and show you some love. And playoff game during October, this guy is ready for it. I mean, he shows it every day.
He loves the smoke too, doesn't he? I mean, he likes the playing on the road in front of the crowd.
Yeah, he doesn't give a.
Yeah,
You know?
you kind of need that though, right? You got to need that.
We like Cap. We like
to get those road wins. We were watching the game, but hey, this is pretty good. The Dodgers doing all this without Shohei Ohtani, and then all they had to do was get a couple runners on, and he hit one literally to Midtown. I mean, just an absolute bomb, a 3-run shot, and it's amazing, right? When the base is empty, nothing. He's been quiet. Runners on, you can't get him out. I mean, just
He
unbelievable.
go for the steak, Kevin. He go for the steak.
He likes the steaks. The ribeye steaks. RBIs for those non-familiar with the term. But it is, you know, they haven't had to, I know he hit the one that went a mile, but they haven't had to rely on him as much. And they get a win without him, essentially. That's really big for the Dodgers.
Well, maybe the biggest hit of the night was the last one by him because he's been a little bit sleepwalking the last 6 games. And that home run, just like Judge's home run, all these guys, all they need is a little bit of a gap. And he points in the dugout like he maybe told somebody, I'm going to go deep. He hits it to the moon, Kevin, like you said, to Midtown, and off he goes.
One thing I like about Ohtani, it doesn't matter if he's going off for whatever. He's swinging. He's not taking pitches. You throw him a strike, he's swinging. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes as a hitter, you get concerned when things are not going well and you want to get picky. He's the opposite. He continues swinging and he's just going to make it happen.
Sometimes it's a feel. You know, it's you put pressure on yourself because you want to deliver, you want to come up big, and you just can't find it. Maybe that clicks for him. Same thing with Aaron. You said maybe they carry that into the next game. But look, Ohtani's going to hit. I mean, I guess the way to get him out is just have no one on base.
Shohei, some call him Shohei Ohtani. You call him whatever you want. The guy can rake with runners on base. That's the bottom line. But tonight, I think a big story, and we talked about it a lot in the pregame show, and you guys laid it out perfectly what Walker Buehler had to give to the Dodgers, and he basically gave it to them, right? I mean, you think about his outing tonight, 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, and 6 strikeouts. Didn't have a single strikeout his last start, and this is quite the difference, right? And you guys pointed it out, too, in that start against the Padres. Didn't have the greatest of luck, a little couple misplays behind him. But I think the cool thing, you always reference, Al, you've been talking about how he showed that emotion in that San Diego game, right? You know, punching the cooler and throwing stuff, and it got guys fired up, right? He had that same emotion tonight. He got out of that big jam in the second inning, and he's screaming at Lindor, and he had that fire that I think carried him a little bit.
He was unbelievable, and it was that, again, fellas, that second inning in where he gave up 6 with really sloppy defense against the Padres. Tonight, he had the same situation, an opportunity to give it up, and he strikes out Alvarez with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball away looking, and then gets the MVP for the Mets on a beautiful breaking ball, and that was the difference. But, fellas, you need the fire. You need the intensity. And, Poppy, you said a great word is not more hype, is more focused. And tonight, he came out focused.
Absolutely. And one thing I noticed about him pitching tonight, he went more for the finesse than power. He was trying to keep batter off of balance. If you look at him pitching tonight, he was more of a pitcher using his breaking ball, trying to get hitter chasing pitches out of the strike zone. And then, boom, his location was outstanding. And he was using his fastball when he wasn't even expecting it.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a little unfair to judge him on the 6 runs he gave up his last outing because he pitched much better than that. There were a few mistakes behind him, but he did exactly what he needed to do here. He is not low on confidence. He is very high on confidence in his ability, and he went out there and he proved it tonight. We were talking about he needs to go far. It was depending on which starter would go the furthest, would have the edge. Severino pitched wonderfully as well. He gave up 0 earned runs. But Buehler did exactly what they needed him to do, and they wanted to get in the bullpen, which they did.
I'm curious, when you think about Buehler, he came off a second Tommy John surgery coming into the year, right? So he's rehabbing from that. Then he had a hip injury that was really bothered him for a good part of the year. And I'm wondering, watching the highlights and watching all the off-speed stuff, did we see a reinvention of Walker Buehler in front of our eyes tonight?
We absolutely did, Kevin. That's a great question. What happens is the difference between good and great is making adjustments. Today, he didn't throw the ball, he pitched. And he had 18 swing and misses, the most in 3 years. That's what you're talking about, finesse versus power. And tonight, he showed why he's a great big game pitcher.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, he know in the back of his mind, okay, I don't have the 98 today. So because I don't have the 98, I'm going to have to go side to side on the plate just to make sure I locate my pitches better. Because remember what happened in the San Diego game when Tatis hit the ball off of him, he was trying to overpower him. And that's when you began to make adjustments, Kevin. That's when you began to be the pitcher that he was tonight.
And that's why you play the games. It's not all just numbers and analytics, right? You know, Dave Roberts knows his players. He knows his pitchers. He knows who wants to be out there. He knows who he trusts. I don't care what someone did their previous outing. He has confidence in them. And Walker Buehler knows how to pitch. He's pitched well in big games, and he'll continue to pitch well in big games, regardless of what's happened in the past, because he has a lot of confidence in himself.
But that's what makes this team such a really, such a good team offensively, because they control the strike zone. They're not going to chase as much. They don't have guys there that chase as much, and then they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They can get on base. So, yes, we got to not only get ahead, but we got to continue to stay on the attack and execute pitches. If we get behind in counts, they're going to make us pay.
Well, last 5 games for the Dodgers, look, they've hit a lot of home runs. Their run differential so high because they shut everybody out. Your run differential is going to be good when you throw 4 shutouts. That is the bottom line. So it's interesting talking about the things, you know, Carlos Mendoza talking about things the Mets haven't done well. Their defense been a little off. They've walked a ton of guys. What at bat stuck out for you tonight here, Al?
For me, it was the Will Smith at bat early in the game. And look, some front office will tell you that strikeouts don't matter, Poppy. This is the way they teach the young kids today. But an out is not an out. And one of the at bats here, especially in October, contact is king. I'm going to show you an at bat, Will Smith, who's not swinging the bat great, but had a game-winning at bat here. 9 pitches, grinded it out. He makes contact and just keeps grinding, not trying to hit home runs. Ball almost hits him, fouling it off, grinding.
Wow.
And this is what the Dodgers are all about. It's demoralizing. They don't chase, they grind. He finally will put the ball in play, forces Severino to make a play, doesn't, advances the runner, gets an RBI. That's a base hit. Poppy, you know when teams don't make errors? When you swing and miss constantly. You got to force teams to make mistakes. And in October with this weather, it's harder to field and the pressure's elevated.
Absolutely. And it seems like these two teams have the center of the lineup, which is the guys who carry every game. And if they don't come through, it seems like they don't score wrong. You're talking about guys like Lindor, Vientos, and Alonso going 1 for 12, 0 RBIs. And then you go to the Dodgers, Ohtani, Freeman, and Muncy going 4 for 12, 4 RBIs. And then you add that, the little guys at the end of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. We talk about pitching, but you can pitch as well as you want. If you don't make the plays behind your pitcher, it's for nothing. You cannot give a team like the Los Angeles Dodgers 5 outs in an inning. I know there's only one error, but there are plays that need to be made. Yeah. And it comes back and it haunts them and it costs them. So you have to button up the defense. I think the New York Mets will be the first ones to tell you that.
Yeah, and Derek, look, if you're the Mets, it's a missed opportunity. You come to a crazy environment. The fans were on fire. You lay an egg. But if you don't score, you can ask San Diego, 24 scoreless innings. They're on the beach right now.
Yeah, hard for the fans to get into it, too, when you don't score a run. Like, that's just the facts. And as you look ahead to this game number 4, it's Quintana for the Mets, the left-hander who's been really, really good. Yamamoto goes for the Dodgers, coming off an excellent start last time out. And, Derek, you kind of thought on the pregame that this was really almost a must-win for L.A. because facing the left-hander tomorrow. So now they're in a pretty good spot.
Dodgers are in a really good spot. But, yeah, I did think it was a must-win for them because they didn't want to come here, especially the way that Manaea neutralized the left-handed bats. You don't want to be down 2-1 and put that pressure on your offense. So now I think the Dodgers are riding high, but Quintana's tough. He's tough on lefties. He's tough on righties. But like I said in the pregame, the storyline for the Mets is they have to score, and they have to score early. It's not on their pitching staff. It's on their offense. They can't keep trying to come back the later you get into the postseason.
We all know that hitting is contagious. And the Dodgers, having an offensive night like they had tonight, it will carry over their confidence level. They're going to be there tomorrow, even knowing that Quintana is a guy that gets you chasing out of the strike zone. But you guys heard Carlos, the manager for the Mets. This team don't chase. The pitcher throws strike. They get to be patient. They fight. And tomorrow, I'm pretty sure they're going to come and attack.
And, Poppy, I think you have to have some self-awareness here if you're the Mets. Tomorrow, it's a must-win game. They have the perfect guy, a lefty, Quintana, Jeter, to your point, about giving lefties, Dodgers, a hard time if you're a lefty. But look, you have to win 2 in a row. It's very hard to ask this team to go to L.A. and expect to win 2 in L.A. So if it starts tomorrow, but you also have to win on Friday.
Hey, you saying tomorrow there's no tomorrow?
And tomorrow there's no tomorrow.
Yes. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
I once heard a great philosopher say that same quote.
Me?
By the
Sir
name
Poppy.
B. Poppy. You guys ever read him? Great stuff.
That when we have people in base, we got to execute. That's what it comes down to. They execute it. Their pitches. When we have people on base, and we didn't. I didn't execute. That's what it comes down to. We gotta execute when we have people in scoring position. But that's part of the game. You tip your hat today, and hopefully you come back tomorrow and execute.
Is it as simple as that when you've been shut out 2 of the 3 games in the series?
I do, especially because you bounce back so strongly, and Francisco did it with a home run. But look, we've talked about it all along, fellas. A loss is a loss, and a win is a win. 8-0 or 1-0, you still have to move on. But for the Mets, it's important to come out early and score some runs and establish himself. A series does not start until both teams win a game on the road, and that's happened. So it's game on for Game 4 tomorrow.
He know they have opportunity. We men in scoring position. They didn't execute. 10 men left on base. That's a lot. You have to find a way when you have those stake out there, those men in scoring position. For you that don't know what the stake means at home, you have to chase that so you can get the crowd going. I mean, if you're not scoring run, you're going to see the crowd like it was tonight, all quiet. You like the steak one, don't you?
He's hungry.
I'm sorry, man. It's getting late.
Can you explain it again?
It's
What kind of
getting
steak
late.
you're cooking?
Steak. It was perfectly said by Lindor. Love everything about him. He sat there, he answered the questions, he was accountable, he took onus on himself. But you sound like broken records. I always said the Mets have to come out and they have to score early and often. They have to give their pitching staff a lead. We talk about Mets magic, their ability to come back. They've come back more than any other team in baseball. You cannot continue to do that in postseason series. You just can't.
And guys, these are the best two teams in the National League. This is Titans against Titans, Goliath against Goliath. You're not going to expect – I can expect 7 games because it's going to go back and forth for the next week.
Well, it might not. I mean,
I hope it goes 7. I hope it goes 7. I don't know. I'm praying for 7.
I don't know.
We want to watch more baseball,
I
Kevin.
mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm just saying it's not guaranteed.
I think you got brain freeze.
I love baseball. I love it.